mic.
Sorry about this.
We're gonna start all over.
Yeah, let's edit that. All right, can we do it over?
You having a stressful day and need a few laughs? Well, you come to the right place. Myself, Lyrican, Jimmy Jam are fathers formerly in the music industry who have a lot to say. So sit back, sip your cup of coffee, and welcome to the shenanigans.
Welcome to the Coffee Break Podcast.
We are live and direct in the glamping fields of Mr. Jimmy Jam.
No, my friend. No. You are becoming one of us.
You were trying.
I'm converting you.
The golf cart was fun. I see why you fought for that one.
See, I told you, Betty is a lot of fun. You can ride her all night long.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and direct here, and we're not drinking coffee this time. Sorry.
What's in the cup is the question of the night.
And don't ask, because it's a girl beverage.
Beverage?
Beverage. As you can tell. So let's start off like
Salute.
we normally do. Salud.
Salute.
That is some nice coffee.
That is very good coffee.
So, you finally dragged me down here, sir.
Yes, I did. It was a week in the making.
Yes.
We got you down here. We set up shop last night, and it was windy as all could be.
I know. I literally got a back rub by the couch, and it felt good.
We've had this fifth wheel now for going on a year, and I've never had it be that windy and like actually shake the building.
It was interesting. It was a bit scary, but we made it through the night alive. And
Today was a beautiful day.
it was a little windy in the morning, but it definitely gave me some vibes. I got nice and tan. I feel good.
I got some sun myself. We went to the beach.
Yeah. We went to the beach. We went to your little pier down here.
Yes, to the pier.
So relaxing.
I told you, there's nothing like it. Once you hit that bridge coming over here, and you get here, it's a whole different world.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, he looked straight and gripped the steering wheel harder than he gripped his own money.
I cannot do bridges. Like we talked about this, I think it was, 3 episodes ago?
Yeah.
I just cannot. No. Forget about it.
But it was the bridge of leaving the stress on the other side of the bridge.
It is. That's why once you get over the bridge, it's like,
Take the stress out of your hands.
yes, there's that permanent grip on the steering wheel. But no, I think, it's, I wanted you to get down here because I wanted you to see what we talk about every week. And I want you to see, I just wanted you to take a second to enjoy the day.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only Puerto Rican down here.
They set off fireworks tonight for him.
I felt like it was the call to be sacrificed or something. The purge has begun. The purge has begun. I tell you what. But it did make me think, especially when we went to the pier, it made me think a lot about just relaxing and just sitting there and quote unquote smell the roses.
Yeah, you need to do that. You need to stop and smell the flowers. And I think, we talked about this last week on the podcast, and for those of you who follow me on social media, you know that I announced formally this week that I have a couple gigs left, and that's it. And I premiered the name of my son, who is now DJing, JM, and check him out. And this guy right here did the awesome design and brand.
I'm telling you what, it dethroned the Double J. I'm sorry.
He took me out of the race. He did.
Because it was a dope logo with the crown and with the initials and then the signature style graffiti-esque look of the name, yeah, he definitely dethroned the Double J.
And that's what I want. I want him to run his own race. I want him to do his own thing, and I think that's what's going to happen. Like I said in the post that I did, everyone asks, "Is he taking over the business? Is he going to, is he following in your footsteps?" No, I don't want him to.
I think in a way he's following your feet print, as they say, to a certain point.
Yeah,
and then he will then take his own lane and carve his own, because what Pops did was what Pops did, and that's what made Jimmy Jam who Jimmy Jam is. And now he's going to be able to take those lessons and then turn right and then go the way he wants to go and carve his own JM lane.
And that's what I really hope he does, and I think that's what I see him doing. We were supposed to come down next week and just father-son time, him and I, be here Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday for Mother's Day. And he called me and he goes, "Dad, I can't go." And my heart sank. And I was like, really, at first I was a little ticked. And then he goes, I have gigs, Dad. That's the only way I'm going to learn and be the best that I can be is if I'm with people that are incredible at what they do. And he's, surrounded himself with edge. And that's where he needs to be, because that's what's going to get him to the next level.
Well, I obviously was there when you got that phone call. And my favorite thing about that is when he called and he said, "I wanted to call you before you called me because I'm about to start practicing."
Yeah. That's what he does every day.
I found it funny, and then I sat back. I was like, I remember when I DJ'd, and I used to wake up early in the morning in boxers and my muscle shirt, crank it up, put my vinyls on. I used to have to put vinyl. Your son probably gets to load up Serato.
Loads Serato Pro.
And I would practice. And each morning was a different style of music, whether it's freestyle, techno, hip-hop, R&B. I would try something different. And then I would have, my favorite was Friday morning. If I didn't have school, I would practice blends. And that was my favorite thing. Take an acapella and an instrumental and put them together that don't belong together.
Yep.
So, when you sit down here and you are all in your glampiness glory,
yeah,
what do you think of?
I just think about how lucky I am. And I think about life in general, that it goes by so fast.
Extremely.
And, I've said this before, I've lost two very good friends in auto accidents. One when I was 19, one very few years ago. And I don't think I ever stopped. Like, I left my one friend's funeral because I had a wedding that day. I went to the funeral. I did everything that I wanted to do, but the life celebration that goes on afterwards, I didn't get to attend. I had a wedding, and that has always been the precedent that, I've missed family reunions, I've missed birthdays, I've missed soccer games, I've missed baseball games, and the key word there is I missed. But to miss and sacrifice, I had to do that for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I don't have to sacrifice anymore. I still hustle any way I can. But I'm not going to miss another one.
Yeah, that's in the world that we were kind of blessed with, as they say, with being creatives, being in the music industry. It does take away from a lot, especially, when you do shows and you're doing weddings and all that crazy nonsense, because a lot goes into prepping for that.
It does. It's 4 hours before, setting up. It's getting to the storage unit, loading up, the drive there, which sometimes, the most I go is an hour away. So sometimes you have an hour drive. And, even then it's setting up, tearing down, it's doing the actual event. It takes a lot. It's an entire day. I mean, you might start 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and you might not get home till 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
I remember, because even as a rapper, I would have show for sound check. Then from sound check, I would go get my hair cut. Then I would go get an outfit. And then come back, get ready, meet the rest of the crew, meet the DJ, go help the DJ set up, and then get ready to perform. And then afterwards, you got to mingle a little bit.
Yeah,
it would take so much time. So I'm so glad I don't rap anymore.
And it's not that I'm glad I'm not DJing anymore. It's not that at all. As much as you can't love something as much as I loved doing it and not miss it to a degree. But what I don't miss is the fact that I am going to be able to sit here and relax and enjoy it. And there's a couple gigs, like I said, I still have several obligations to finish between now and when I'm done, but I'm just not taking anything else on. And it's not a lot, it's a handful of events, but it will take away from being here as well.
All I know is you say that, but when me and Tara make it to 20 years, we're throwing a party in your DJing, just so you know.
Well, I'll still have the equipment, or I'll use Jimmy's at least.
Well, you're going to have to at least MC it, and we'll let Jimmy
Okay, that works.
DJ. I like that. Because you are one hell of a party starter. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
So
it's really about, what do you think? You're down here now.
I caught myself reflecting because this year has been probably one of the best years that I've had in a very long time, as far as me as a person. I found a new enjoyment in creativity that's beyond rapping and beyond my graphics. As you know, like your journey, I put rapping to the side. I still do graphics. And now we got the Coffee Break podcast.
With the Coffee Gang.
And my regular 9 to 5, after busting my cojones for years, I finally have gotten my family from check to check to actually not being check to check, to being able to, let's just go buy that. Or, my girls need clothes. Here's some money. Go buy some clothes right now. To, before I would have to budget. Oh, man, I'm not getting paid till next Friday. All right, we need to buy this, and this. We need gas. I need to cut the grass, so I need gas for that. To the point where I can actually enjoy time and not stress over things. I can go outside and play with my daughter and not have to work overtime anymore. So I get to enjoy those flowers, as they say.
And I think you got to do that this weekend a little bit.
Oh yeah, I when you took me out to that pier, that's actually the first thing that I thought about. Because as we went today, those little kids were over there throwing sticks in the water. It made me think of my daughters. Jada likes throwing rocks. That's why I picked up the rock, and I took the rock because Jada likes rocks. And it made me think about my little one is about to start school. I'm like, wow. The development that she's about to start having, I get to start seeing, because Jada took leaps and bounds when she started the school. Now Danny's starting. She's going to take leaps and bounds. My wife is going to be able to have time to herself.
Yeah, she'll be able to reflect.
So it's been a great year, and I'm pretty sure with the success that we've been having with this, we're going to have a magnificent year, and, looking forward to the future.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough for just coming down this weekend with me and hanging out and just seeing what I talk about. And, who knows? Maybe this will be your next journey.
Well, let's just put it this way. In my years of existence, I've never had besides senior week, my senior year, I've never really gone out with a bunch of homies and just done a weekend, no matter what it was, besides rapping.
Yeah.
So this was my first weekend just being Anthony. So that's the best part about it.
And I'm glad that you got that time. And your wife was very, very kind to let you go and say...
I think she just wanted to get rid of me for a little bit.
I agree with that. But no, she knew that we wanted to do this. And she said, you know what? Go. Have a good time. We'll see you Sunday.
My baby got my back, so I know she just wants me. She knows how hard I work, so she wants me to enjoy things.
Yeah, I got to take this microphone out of here. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Oh, this is so much better.
Yeah.
I get to let the dad bod out. But yeah, I think Tara really enjoyed mommy and daughter time and letting me get my mind right, because at work, summertime is big for building materials, so I'm going to be really cranking in on getting the savings account locked in, getting the girls' stuff ready for regular school, because Jada starts regular school in September.
Yeah.
So this is daddy's go hard time.
And I think I agree with you. Christy got time with the kids. Jimmy's gigging all weekend. This was, for everybody, a great weekend.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to, I think more people need to stop and put pause on life for just a day and resume. But no, I think you need to pause, look around, look at what you have, and think about that, and think how lucky you are, because there's so many people that don't.
So many people are so locked into social media, the TikToks, the garbage that's on the news, everything else but just enjoying life.
Yes. And that's what it comes down to. And that's why I come down here, and that's why I enjoy it, and that's why I talk about it so much.
Yeah, as soon as I got here, I felt the degrees of stress just turning down. I woke up stress-free. I was like, got to go outside. It was nice and warm, and sun was beating. No cloud was in the sky. It was a beautiful blue. And got to look at your golf cart shiny in the morning. And yeah, it felt wonderful.
Yeah, it was, and everybody got to see the camper when we started this podcast. So, hope you guys enjoyed the tour. But, that's what this is all about for me and my family and what we enjoy doing.
So I guess now we just got to convince Tara.
That's the next step.
Yeah. So, well, we can talk about a little fun time we had today. So we were customizing Betty, adding security for children that sit on it. We added the seatbelt rail.
Yeah.
And we had to drill a hole. So I was like, well, let's go.
Through metal.
Through metal, yeah.
Yeah, we're not drilling through wood or anything. This was a task, and it was one that I was afraid to take on. I'd be honest with you. I was a little bit.
So being that I do a lot of that, I was like, well, I took the reins, and I started drilling the holes. And
well, in fairness though, who started the hole?
You made the mark. Yeah,
I made the mark.
Yeah, you made the mark.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm drilling away, and your friend comes over, and he goes, "You're drinking the beer, and he's working." It's like, dang, you had the Puerto Rican working, and you were sitting there sipping beer and having your feet kicked up.
I didn't make you cut the grass though.
Well, yeah,
I did that.
You did the easy job.
Yeah, Frank the Tank, he loved coming up and seeing us today.
Yeah, he's quite a character.
Yes, he is.
But that is one thing about this place that I enjoy, that people just stop in, say hi. Nobody overstays their welcome. Nobody overdoes it. Everybody just comes in. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, what's your name? And keep it moving.
Yeah. You don't know everybody. I mean, there's over 1,000 sites here.
I probably said about hi like 40,000 times.
You do. You say hi to everyone, and That's the nice thing. Nobody has an attitude. Nobody gives you a hard time, and everybody's welcoming. Like, hey, stop down and see us at site number blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, you know what else happened this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah. And we sat around a little bit.
After weeks and weeks and weeks of preparation, conversation, we talked about it many times on my favorite segment, my favorite sports segment.
Sports.
As we all know, it was draft weekend.
You were in your glory.
I tell you what, I was prepared to be upset. I was super prepared to be upset. And for some reason, somebody convinced Howie Roseman to make the right pick.
You guys did good.
Devontae Smith, baby. And to think about it, we originally had the number 6 pick. He traded that away. We got to trade it to number 12. And then we got a second number 1 pick in the trade for next year, which everybody's saying next year is magnificent in stars coming in. But this year has some pretty good ones. And then the day of the draft, it comes down to number 10, and we trade with the Dallas Cowboys of all teams. One of our biggest rivals, to hop over the Giants and to get the wide receiver that I wanted.
You did want that.
I did want Devontae Smith, and I was happy. I believe I texted you, and I was like, we didn't screw this up.
And I'm not saying we screwed ours up because we lost a great running back. And, it's just, I really thought they were going to go with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, you guys didn't draft any quarterback.
None. They want, Rooney said they are not going to finish last in the running game like they did this past year, which is why they got Harris.
Yeah, Harris he was a good running back. I've seen tape on him, and he has a good first couple steps. And his agility is amazing.
So, he was, round 1, number 24 pick?
Yeah. It was a good draft. A lot of great people got some good stars. Jamar Chase went early. Trey Lance went early. It was a really good draft. It was entertaining, at least. So it makes me feel that this season is going to be a crazy season.
Which leads me to something else.
Ooh.
Aaron Rodgers.
The great and powerful A-Rod of football.
He looks like Finkel from Pet Detective.
Oh, my God, he does.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Wow. Now, if he gets traded to Miami, if you haven't heard the news, you must be living off a rock. The infamous Aaron Rodgers has demanded and pretty much says he won't play if he's still with the Packers.
Yeah, he's gone.
He wants to be traded, and he wants to be traded now.
And it's, was I correct, Denver?
Denver, yeah. They're saying that the deal with Denver Broncos is all but done, but I believe they're waiting until after the draft. But there's other teams that are very interested, such as the Bears were interested, the Patriots were interested, and San Francisco even called and offered Jimmy G and a couple picks before the draft. So I'm surprised they didn't jump at the opportunity to get the number 4 pick. I think the San Francisco had number 4 pick. They were high up. They were in the top 5. I know that. And to try to get one of these young stars, start all over.
We talked about this a lot this weekend. We went and watched it, sat at the bar for a little bit and watched it. And you brought up a great topic, and I my jersey is James Conner. It was James Conner, I should say. Christy's mom got me that for Christmas a couple years ago.
Nice.
That was, oh my gosh, that was the best gift that year. I was so happy, and Christy knew about it, and I admire James Conner very much because he's overcome so much in his life at such a young age. And he's gone. And, a lot of people, now I don't know, I'm speculating, but you brought this up. It's, Ben is hard to work with.
That was the rumor. There's a huge rumor that's what drove away Brown, Bell, and apparently now Connor. That he's just such a difficult person to work with. Now, I don't know if it's difficulty or a generation thing. Because when Ben came in, and all that stuff, it was a different way of teaching how to play football.
Well, he came in with a different group of guys, too. I mean, he had Jerome Bettis. I mean, he had Hines Ward, Troy Polamalu. I mean, that's just three of the greats that he had. He had the steel curtain. Not that they still don't, but they were a dominating force.
But at that time, coaches were a little more...
Cowher was a hell of a coach.
They were a little more, not aggressive, but a little more demanding of a person in a situation. You are the quarterback. You need to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Now, maybe a little soft ass, and no other way to say it, but they're a little softer on people.
I think so. I think the whole sport of football has loosened up a lot, and it's a very demanding, tough sport to play. But I think that some of the penalties they call, some of the rules that they have now, it's just not what it was.
I could take some of them because I know they're trying to protect the quarterback from concussions and all that. I get that. But if you are coming into a sport that is a contact sport, that's like a wrestler, like Hulk Hogan complaining that in a physical wrestling ring, he hurt his ankle.
Yeah.
Like, in the sport that you play, you're going to get hurt at least 1 or 2 times during your career.
I know when I did synchronized swimming, it was very, very difficult. It was very demanding, and it was full contact.
And the wedgies, man. But I'm saying, like, what person, you're taking 50 to 60 snaps a game, and you got 16 games a year, plus practice, you're going to put a lot of stress on your body. But you can't be a diva in that type of sports. Like,
no.
You can't be the Odell Beckhams. You can't. He's a magnificent person, but then he's throwing fits on the side like a baby and then gets smacks with the goalpost.
Yeah, there's definitely some divas in football, and I think they get called out. Eventually they get checked. And, yeah. The next diva pops up, and that'll happen this year too. There's going to be someone that's going to be the diva. It's going to be the center of attention for a little bit. I mean, there's one every year. So,
talking about football, the XFL was sold. Correct. It was initially Vince McMahon.
It was.
And they kicked Vince McMahon off, and they brought in The Rock and his ex-wife to be the new head majority owners of XFL. The XFL has now signed a deal and has merged with the CFL. So the Canadian Football League and the Extreme Football League are now one league, like the NFL was before it was the NFL. And now you have 26 teams that play almost old school football where you can actually hit the quarterback.
Wow.
But they added in different ways to solve tie games instead of having an extra quarter, they have a shootout. And it's really cool. Their kickoff rules are a lot better. And if you score a touchdown, your extra points can be different. You can get up to 3 points.
Very cool.
It's very cool. So I'm all for the XFL. They take people who can't make the NFL, give them an opportunity. And some people rather not go to the NFL and go straight to the XFL. They do a draft. They go through all the same things that the NFL does, but it's just more football because they're on after regular football.
Yeah.
Can't say no to more football, man.
No, that we can't do.
So my question to you, do you have some funny news for us today, Mr. Mahler?
I do. Well, you talked about the Canadian Football League, so let's talk about Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
Ooh.
A Canadian Parliament member was caught stark naked in a virtual meeting of the House of Commons.
Wow.
Yes.
You could take that sentence in so many different ways.
You know, zoom. William Amos, who represents the Quebec district of Pontiac.
No. Whoa. This guy was butt naked and his name was Amos.
No, Amos.
Amos. Oh, wow.
Anyways, William Amos, who has represented the Quebec district of Pontiac since 2015, appeared on the screens of his fellow lawmakers completely naked Wednesday. The pandemic has meant so many Canadian lawmakers participate in sessions via video conference instead of in person. And a screenshot obtained by the Canadian press shows Amos standing behind a desk between the Quebec and Canadian flags, his private parts hidden by what appears to be a mobile phone in one hand.
Wow.
He said this was an unfortunate error in an email statement, that his video was accidentally turned on as he was changing into his work clothes. I'm sorry, I can't go on this.
Amos. Wow.
Get dressed before you... Yeah, and don't get dressed in front of the camera. Get dressed in your bedroom.
Now, should he be more ashamed of being naked or that just a little simple smartphone was covering it?
That's... Yeah. Wonder if it was a flip phone. What do you call that? A Palm Pilot?
A Palm Pilot. Maybe he all he wanted to do was the zoom,
And a boom, boom, boom.
Oh, my brother. It's been one hell of a weekend.
Yes, it was. And I hate to say that it's going to be ending tomorrow afternoon when we head back, but it'll be here next weekend. I'll be here next weekend. And you, my friend, have an open invitation anytime you want to get away from reality.
I'm definitely coming back down. Because we definitely cooking more on that grill. Ooh, them ribs were good.
It was.
I gotta give you props for that one. You put your foot in the ribs.
And I have to thank Christy in the end, because without her and our partnership and the teamwork that we have together, none of this would be possible. And I know she gets annoyed with me, and I am very annoying in many, many ways. But I want to take a second to shout out to her and say thank you. Thank you for letting us have this dream together. Thank you for giving me a break in life. And thank you for being the best partner anyone could ever ask for.
I'm your partner on the podcast.
Yes, you are.
But you make me feel second best.
Oh, please.
I'll take second best. That's fine. Because, you know, my wife, she's my number one, so.
She should be.
Well, no, she's my number two. My daughters are number one. She knows that. She's okay with that. They're like, daughters are 1A, Tara's 1B.
Yeah, I get that.
You're like 3C.
I completely understand it. I'm the same way with Jimmy, you know, and Christy's the same way with her kids over me. That's just the way you are. Your kids are your priority. Jimmy has been my priority for going on 21 years. He'll be my priority for the next 21. And I'm a very, very proud father.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Where do you see your son in 10 years?
In 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I see him on the path that he's on right now. He is, Eddie has taken him under his wing. He's showing him the right way to do things. And he's going to teach him properly how to read a crowd, entertain a crowd, and not be the complete center of attention, but to put it where it belongs, and that is on the couple that hired you or whatever you're doing. So with that said, hopefully he stays on that path, and in 10 years I see him as a prominent figure in Lancaster County entertainment.
I could see that too. He has the hair for it.
Oh my gosh, I wish he'd cut his hair.
Maybe he should donate some to you.
I know I could. Yeah, I could use a little.
I got so much hair I could donate to you and 5 other people.
I tried growing a beard one time.
I really want to see that.
I chased the dog around and I pasted his fur on my face, and that's the closest I get.
I really would like to see what a beard on you would look like.
I try to grow it and I look like a Teen Wolf. It's like all patchy. I look like Michael J. Fox in Teen Wolf. I do. Like when he started to wolf out the first time and he had the patches of hair here and there, and yeah, that's what I look like.
Just don't start playing basketball.
No. Or doing surfing on top of a car.
Yeah. That was a good movie, though.
It was a
I
great
love
movie.
old cheesy sci-fi movies.
I just love the 80s, as everyone knows, altogether, and everything about them. The movies, the television. I mean, even just the music today. I turned on 80s Sirius for us.
Yeah, we were jamming.
And there was some great stuff. Even Keith Sweat came on.
Oh, yeah. I love old school music. Leave me in the 80s and 90s, and I'll be perfectly happy. I can't be a rapper where you can't understand me.
Yeah.
What was that song you were singing earlier about the Red Bull?
I'm drinking Red Bull and rum and Red Bull. I'm drinking. Look it up. It's by Beanie Man. I'm not singing it. I can't sing. That's why I'm a disc jockey, or used to be, I should say.
Oh man, that's still great. So why don't we just tell them goodbye and go have some Red Bull and some Captain Morgan or something?
Well, I guess I'll, do that famous tag.
Which one do you have this week? Are you gonna stick with the same one, or are you gonna try
I
a new
am.
one?
Jen and Steve nailed it. So thanks again to them. Thanks to Subpoena. Thanks to everyone out there. Coming up very shortly, we're going to actually be interviewing
Coffee and Questions.
Gladfelder's Barbershop. Look them up there in East Petersburg. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, stay classy. Thanks for listening.
And my favorite thing to say is goodbye.
See ya.
Adios.
I want to thank everybody for listening to another episode of the Coffee Break Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on your favorite podcast streaming service. And of course, follow us on all social media platforms. And like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to the shenanigans.
Thanks for tuning in to the Coffee Break Podcast.